Hey ho, dear ones. Today we're talking about your true essence. Your true essence is the true you without masks, filters, pleasing, fanning, fawning, all the things we do to make ourselves pleasing and or acceptable to others. But if you peeled away all that, what would be left is your true essence. And we tap into our true essence using one of your spiritual gifts. It's your spiritual gift of leadership. And this is the future of leadership, which is divinely feminine. It's a being, it's an embodiment, it's an activation of others by dint of just being you. You're not telling them what to do. You're not barking orders. You're not saying it has to be this way. You're showing up in the glory of your true essence. And those who are meant to receive from it are activated, inspired simply from your being. And before we unpack all of this, I would love to share with you a listener review. And this comes from Danielle Duane. And she says, love this podcast, easy and motivational to listen to. Thank you so much, Danielle. I appreciate you. And if you could be so kind to also give this podcast some love, I will read your words on the air. It truly is how more people can find us. Head on over to wherever it is you listen. In the show notes, there's a link. Hit subscribe, leave us a rating and review, and I will read your beautiful words on the air with loads of gratitude. All right, today we're talking about true essence. Let's get into it. In today's episode, I reveal what your true essence is, how we use our spiritual gift of leadership to tap into this essence, and why your soul clients need your true essence on a soul level. We'll end on an invitation that will have you being and embodying the true you to magnetize just the right people into your life and business and offers. So please stay with me until the end. Hello there. We are building a global community of soul-guided leaders, coaches, healers, and entrepreneurs called the Soul Guide Circle. In the Soul Guide Circle, we're inviting in our spiritual gifts to get our clients even more results and transformation to create big referral buzz. Find a link to join our closed Facebook group at AllisonScammell.com or in the show notes. All right, today we're talking about true essence. And ultimately, our true essence is an energy frequency of alignment, an energy frequency of alignment. And we're showing up aligned to our unique genius, aligned to our unique energy, aligned to showing up and being the person you are being called to be without the masks, the filters, the pleasing, the holding back, the fear that either I'm not enough or I am too much. I am just right, and I take up just enough space, not too much, not too little, in the cosmic plan. I am here being, living my true essence. And this is the thing that magnetizes the people into your life who are a match to that frequency, to your true essence frequency. And yes, in business, it helps to have good marketing, and it helps to have good, big, bold promises, and it helps to be clear and describe the results you help people to get. But what's more powerful than all of that is that when you show up, and this requires showing up, showing up in your life, showing up in your business, in your true essence. It's very easy to just say, well, I'm not going to show up. I'm going to hide, which is taking you out of alignment to your true essence. I'm going to stay in my cave. I'm going to shut the door. I'm going to go under a blanket. Hey, listen, my human design profile, I'm a 2. I know you 2-liners out there can feel me, and we're hermits. We love to be alone. So part of alignment to true essence is knowing, yes, alone time is important. And for some of us, it's an aligned part of our path to fill our well. But none of us are meant to hermit forever. We need to get called out and come out and show up. And when we show up in our business, whether it be in your newsletter, an Instagram reel, a live class, a master class, showing up and just being you. Nothing is more powerful than that in business. Being you. And we use our spiritual gift of leadership to be and embody our true essence. And when we're aligned and utilizing our spiritual gift of leadership, we are embodied. We are in the body. And I'm really mindful for this podcast episode to be in my true essence and utilize my spiritual gift of leadership to activate you in any way that you may need to be activated today. But just to be my true essence is the best way to teach, if you will, or to talk about, or to pass on to you how to be in your true essence. I don't need to give you a 5-step plan, although you know me, I love a good 5-step process. Just being my true essence will enable you to be yours. And we utilize our spiritual gift of leadership, which is an embodiment. We're in the body. We're touching our toes. We're feeling our fingertips. We're connected to the heart space. And we're connected to our higher self. And it's just a flow. You know, your words flow out of you. Your actions flow out of you. You're in alignment. There's no pushing. There's no struggle. It's a flow. There's space. Right now, I feel no fear about how you may perceive me. I don't care. I'm showing up in my true essence, and I know I have such a strong inner knowing that those who are meant to receive from this will, and those who won't. When I'm in my true essence, I know I'm not for everyone, and that's beautiful. I am here to serve the people I am here to serve, and I am all in for that. I'd love to share a story about how powerful our true essence can show up. I was one time in a sales process. I was in a launch, and I was inviting people who were interested in signing up for Soul Blueprint to book a discovery call to talk about whether or not Soul Blueprint is a good fit for you at this point of your path. And it was very clear that when you signed up, it said, the intake form that you filled out before you booked your session said, the purpose of this call is to explore whether Soul Blueprint may be a good fit for you on your path at the moment and to answer any of your questions. So I had someone book a discovery call, and I got on the call, and I was talking to her about some of her struggles. And one of her biggest struggles was that she wasn't able to own her worth. And she wasn't able to show up in her true essence, because every time we're not owning our worth, we are not fully embodying our true essence. Because when we fully embody our true essence, we are owning, yes, I own it, the value of the transformation and the results and the value of the value that we create in the world. When we're in a real pure alignment to true essence, we own our worth. And she was telling me she was struggling with owning her worth. She was struggling showing up as her true self. And I always, get into the energy when I'm with a client, when I'm on a discovery call, of being in my true essence. If there's something in my energetic space, I clear that out first. I take deep breaths. I drop into the body. I connect to the heart space. So as I was talking to her and holding the space for her, I was in my true essence. And then at a certain point, she said, I was hoping you could offer me some coaching today. And I said to her, yeah, I could offer you a bit of coaching. The purpose of this call is to talk about Soul Blueprint. But then I offered her a few things that I thought might be helpful for her on her path. And then I asked her if she would like to hear about Soul Blueprint. Now, at that point, she could have said, no, I actually am not interested. But she said, yes. So I said a few words about Soul Blueprint, and I asked her if she might be interested, and she said yes, but she's really struggling financially, so it would be a not now. And so then I said, of course, I understand. I'd love to be able to check in on you in 3 to 4 months to see how things are feeling then. Would that be okay? And she said yes. So then we said our goodbyes and went our separate ways. And then she wrote me an email a couple hours later saying she was very disappointed with the call because she thought she would get coaching and she didn't really want to talk about Soul Blueprint. And at that point, I went into owning my worth. I was very honest with her about the nature of the call. From start to middle to end, I was always asking her for her permission. She kept saying yes. And I think that was her in a pleasing energy. She actually wanted to say no. She actually wanted to say, I really need some free coaching right now. I can't afford Soul Blueprint. Can you give me that? And I was in a position to say, I can give you a very small amount of free coaching right now because I'm in the middle of a launch of a business, of a program that's got a deadline coming up. And I'm really saving this period, this time in my life to talk to people who are genuinely interested in showing up. And I really own the value of my time. I own my worth. I put out so much free stuff in my business. This podcast, all the live classes I do, all the stuff I post on social, all my Instagram reels, all the stuff that I put out for free is so high value. So there's so many ways that you can get free coaching from me. But in that period of time, although I indeed did offer her some free coaching, but I shut that off because I was in my true essence. And my true essence was having me own my worth. And my true essence was having me say, I own the value of my time. And I'm being very honest with this person about what I can and cannot give her. And she wasn't happy with that. And I was okay with it. I was okay that she wasn't happy because I showed up in my true essence, in my alignment. And I could tell she was not in her true essence and she was quite out of alignment, and that is okay. She will hopefully go on to find another coach and healer that might be able to serve her when she feels ready, when the time is right, or maybe someday she'll come back to me. But what I realized in all that is I gave her really high value coaching for free. Because what I did through that whole transaction was that I modeled my true essence, which was the thing that she was really looking for. And I'm sure she may not realize it, but I feel strongly in my heart that I gave her something. I activated her so she can show up in her true essence and start owning her worth. And it's highly likely she doesn't realize it on a conscious level that she received that activation from me. But I feel deeply in my heart that I passed it on to her because this is the power of the true essence. She signed up for that discovery call for a reason. And we both learned something from it. I reflect back and I feel like I did everything right and in alignment. And what I want to say, I pat myself on the back because the Allison of even a year or two ago might have really caved, might have really said, oh, I'm sorry I didn't give you more free coaching. Do you want to book a follow-on call? And then I would have felt really icky and out of alignment in that follow-up call. And so I stayed in energetic alignment throughout the whole thing. And when I did that, I'm certain I passed something on extremely powerful to her that she will be able to receive on a conscious or a subconscious level. That is the power of our spiritual gift of leadership. That is the power of our true essence. And our soul clients need this true essence because life isn't just about learning. It's about really mentorship. And this is why your soul clients need your true essence on a soul level. Because we're not just here to learn. Like I would be teaching you something that you would learn from me. Again, using a 5-step process. We are also here to be mentored and to receive learning through modeling, through being. So our spiritual gift of teaching does that. It teaches others. It illustrates to others a new or different way of being, living, creating. But our spiritual gift of leadership is being in that true essence and activating, healing, inspiring others just by being. So some may need from us the teaching and the know-how and the other things, but they also need this being, this energetic being. It's part of how we activate them. It's part of how we bring them to life. And so then they in turn are able to tap into their true essence on a higher level and pass that on to the people they are here to serve. And thus it ripples out and out. You know, when you look at parenting, yes, you teach your kids a lot of things, but pretty much every book that you could read about how to be a good parent ultimately ends on it's modeling. If you want your kids not to swear, don't swear. If you want your kids to eat healthy, eat healthy. If you want your kids to be kind and respectful to others, be kind and respectful to others. I see it with Freya all the time. I try to teach her how to calm down when she's feeling a big emotion and tell her to do this and tell her to do that. And she's like not interested in hearing those tips and tricks when she's in the middle of a big emotion. But when I feel a big emotion and I use those very same techniques to calm myself down, and I show her by example of how I'm calming myself down, then all of a sudden I see her using these same tips and tricks to calm herself down. Not because I told her to, but because she witnessed me doing it for myself. Our true essence is so powerful. It activates and inspires just by the beauty and the power and the glory and the brightness and the boldness of being the true you. My invitation for you this week is to ask yourself, what is one thing that is blocking my connection to my spiritual gift of leadership and thwarting my ability to show up in my true essence? Can I release that thing? And take some deep breaths, sink into the body, connect to the heart space, and simply be. And the next time I show up in my business, can I clear away that energy beforehand so I'm in the body, in my heart space, radiating my true essence for those who need it on a soul level. That's a wrap for this week, my dear ones. If you loved this episode, leave us a rating and review and let me know, what did you receive specifically? I will read your words on the air with loads of love and gratitude. And as always, until next time, may your soul guide the way.